Randomosity here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a small twig trellis. I hope you enjoy. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a small, simple twig trellis. Here's what you're going to need: a handsaw, a pliers, a tape measure. I'm going to be using my Gerber multi-tool, that's what I got. Regular pliers will work just great, and some wire to tie it together. Regular one-strand fencing wire will do just fine. If you don't have that, you can go to Lowe's or Home Depot and get tie wire, which is most likely in the concrete section. It's just one-strand wire that has no coating on it. So that's all you're going to need. Let's get out there and get some twigs. So as you can see, we just found some nice small maple saplings here for our twig trellis. This one is about 1/2 to 3/4 inch in thickness here. You don't want it too thick, because if it's too thick, you'll have a hard time bending it and it has more chance of snapping. Because we're going to need to bend it pretty tight for the top of the hoop on our trellis. So I will show you how we're going to harvest these with our handsaw. Let's get to it. Okay, so we found a tree here. I'm going to show you how to cut this. You want to grab the tree up about 12 to 14 inches from where you're going to cut it, and place your saw and start cutting right about like this. Now apply a little pressure with this hand to keep the tree from binding on your saw. Hold it firmly, because if the tree wobbles, you're going to have a really hard time cutting. Now, as you can see, that was not very hard at all. With this small of a tree, you could have just cut that with a big pruners. That would have worked perfect too. But I just decided to use the handsaw, since that's what I had with me. Okay, now that we got a few sticks for our trellis, we will head up to the shop and I will show you how to make it. Okay, we're going to start our trellis out by taking a twig and measuring it at 6.5 feet and cut it off. That'll be our hoop on the trellis. And then next you want to carefully bend it without breaking it. Just get it nice and supple. You'll want to make sure you're using a green twig, which simply means one that you just cut down a live tree. It's not been dead. That way it'll be more supple. Okay, now that we got our main piece all bent and suppled up, we're going to take this wire. You can use a piece of string, but I just had the wire that I'm using to tie it together, so I thought I'd use a piece of that. And you just bend it like this, make a little loop on the end, because this will make it easier. And then you bend, and you figure about how wide the bottom you want your trellis, which I want mine about this wide, so I'm going to put another loop. Then you grab your stick and you just bring it right on around and slip it in the loop. That way it keeps it from springing out while you're working with it, trying to put on the upright pieces. And if it looks a little bit wide and doesn't look quite the way you want it, just loosen the wire up a little and then bring it in so it's a little tighter. That's what I'm going to do right here. Okay, next you want to cut 2 pieces to go across your trellis hoop. So I'm going to use this right here, and you don't need a tape measure for this. You can just make it however big you want it, but for the sake of the video I'm going to use a tape measure just in case you want to make it the same length I do. So I'm going to do 2 pieces at 3 feet. So I just measured this one, and now that I have one, I can just bring it around and use it as a template for the next one, which that one happened to be pretty much perfect. You want them to have a bit of overhang on the edges here, because it makes it look good and also keeps it from letting the wires that are going to hold it on from slipping off. So this will be the back of the trellis. So we'll just put our loop through like this and twist it right on the back here so it won't be seen. You want to snug your wire fairly tight, but don't snug it too much or else it'll cut the strength of the wire and break right off. And on this base one, I'm going to put 2 loops of wire because it's going to have the most stress. And I'll just speed it up and finish the wiring of these 2, and then I'll show you how to get your next pieces. Okay, we'll space our 2 pieces across about 13 inches apart. Okay, now that we got those tied on, we're ready to make our upright pieces. It's going to take 3 upright pieces. We'll start out with the 2 side ones, which are going to be the same length. We'll let it overhang here about 2 inches, and up at the top about 4. So we'll make them about 20 inches. Two at 20. Now if you have a big pruner, so you can use a big pruner for cutting these small pieces, and it'll work. It'll work great. It'll be a little easier than this. But Now for our third piece, it's going to stick up higher than all the rest by about 3 or 4 inches. So this one will be about 25 inches. Just cut that. Now you just want to look at it and just evenly space them out. So space these a couple like this and put this one about in the center. And that's all there is to it. So I'll speed up the video again and tie these on and show you the finished product. Okay, now that we got them all tied on, you can clip the excess wire off. Don't clip too much off because you don't want your wires releasing, but just clip it the excess and bend what's left over. And you can remove the wire holding the base together. So I'll just finish clipping these off really fast. So here we got the finished twig trellis, and this only took about 15 to 20 minutes. It's a perfect weekend project or evening project. If you like this video, you can subscribe, like, and go to my channel and watch the rest of my videos. And until next time, keep rolling with the random.